Hey everyone, today's interview is with Jeff Cruz, a college graduate in sociology who decided to pivot from hospital administration to software engineering. So if you're a career transitioner, this episode is for you. First, a shout out to today's sponsor, Prentus. Prentus is an AI-powered job search platform where you get access to a job tracker, AI career coach, and other fun tools that help you job search 5 times faster. So join their community of 4,500 career changers for free to get access to junior tech jobs and free career coaching each week. And if you use the promo code ERIC10 at checkout, that's Eric with a K, you can get 10% off their pro plan. So check out the details in the show notes to get started. All right, Jeff, well, welcome to the show. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you for having me.
Before we dive in, for our listeners, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself and your background?
Yeah, so I was born and raised in San Diego. Graduated university, bachelor's in sociology, and then eventually led to a career in medical administration. From there, I saved up enough money, and I decided I want a career change. Something that like I look forward to day to day, So I ended up enrolling in a coding boot camp called Learning Fuse. For 3 months, that's where we learned all the coding skills and everything, and then job hunt, and now I'm a software engineer.
Okay, the rest is history, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that job search more specifically. How did you get that first job? Were there any resources or groups or strategies that helped you that you think others should know about?
Yeah. I think in the timeline of the job hunt, I made the mistake of spending too much time applying and not spending enough time on improving my skills, because I spent so much time on applying. Then when it came to interviews, I'm like, I blank out. So it's really like improving and utilizing those skills. As for like anything that I use for the job hunts, I would go on LinkedIn. I would go on where the basic job application sites.
Right, monster.com, indeed.com.
Indeed's
Okay,
the one that I was on.
Okay,
So
is
yeah,
that where you
I
actually found
applied to like
job?
470 applications, and this was over a span of 4 months. And when I started the job hunt the following week after I graduated boot camp, I received an email saying like, "Hey, we are working on this project. Let us know if you would like to join in on it." And I thought it was like a scam email. I was like, "Oh no." But eventually it came around, and I received that email again 4 months later. And I was like, okay, so let me look more into this, because it seems very um like just I don't know how to it's not like a usual email where it's like, hey, like we would like to invite you to interview. It's like, oh, if you want to join in, yeah, just let us know. We'll set up a conversation type of thing. Um
Interesting.
and then eventually that the person that emailed me essentially hired me, and that's where the job that I'm at right now.
So they found you through indeed.com. They saw
they
the profile that you had created there.
they found me on LinkedIn. So
LinkedIn, okay.
they found me on LinkedIn, and they found me because I was local, and that I put that I was looking for a job on LinkedIn. And then they saw like uh my portfolio, and then my skill set, where I attended for Learning Fuse, what I learned at Learning Fuse, and they were looking for someone that was working in React. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, I'm learning React right now, so
Well, that's the power of LinkedIn, right? And you submitted 400 some odd applications,
right.
uh, which is a lot. But realistically, how many can you do in any given day? Just a handful, I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
I aim for 10 a day
10 a day,
at
yeah.
least. Yeah.
The last time I checked, there was something like 50 million companies on LinkedIn. I think the number is like
Wow.
15 million recruiters are on
Wow.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
80 some odd percent of them use it regularly.
Mm-hmm.
So on any given day, sure, not all of those recruiters are looking for somebody like you, but I think you could say hundreds, maybe thousands probably are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So how much
I
more
would say that.
effective would it be if you could have a good LinkedIn profile, then because then you get surface to all of these potential opportunities instead of having to hunt them out yourself.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. I saw like on like some social media platforms like how to make your LinkedIn more appealing and like how and have it cater to recruiters that are looking for people um that they're hiring for.
Yeah. First step is understanding what type of role you want. I think a lot of
Right.
bootcamp graduates, especially, they advertise themselves as, hey, I know 5, 6 different languages. Sometimes it's better to advertise yourself as, I'm a React engineer, and kind of
Yeah.
focus on one particular area, because then you're more specialized. It's easier to show up
Exactly.
in
Yeah.
those job search. Very good. So then, is there anything that you would have done differently then in your job search?
Um yeah, like just going back on it again, s- trying to split your day to day after the boot camp, spend a limited amount of time applying, more time improving your skill sets when it comes to either like um making your own small projects, making a one big project, um look studying like for me I study JavaScript. um yeah, that's I feel like I just more time on improving the skill set. Yeah.
When you mention improving the skill set, I'm thinking that can mean a lot of different things, right? Are you
Yeah.
saying actual small project development? Are you saying full stack project development? Are you saying data structures and algorithms? Like, where were you weak in those interviews that you mentioned that
Yeah,
you needed
so
to strengthen?
I think it would have to be I did spend some time on coding algorithms. But when it came to like interviews, um I would say like half the interviews to three-quarters of the interviews that I made it to had to do with a coding algorithm. And then the other is I have this feature for this project, build this feature, and we'll give you this amount of time and then just let us know when you're done, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and sometimes the coding algorithm, like there's someone there, like with you. Sometimes like the coding algorithm just gets emailed to you and then just send us your solution. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the sending your solution is definitely less stressful.
You take your time. You don't have the pressure of somebody watching you.
Exactly. Yeah. It's already hard enough when you're like trying to code, especially as a junior developer, second guessing everything that you're doing when someone's watching you, you know?
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
man, yeah. So you brought up an interesting point. A common question that I get
Hmm.
is, how do I prepare for the technical interview?
Yeah.
And really, taking a step back, I think the first question you should be asking the recruiter is what type of technical interview you should expect.
Exactly.
'Cause some
Yeah.
recruiters will say, hey, it's just more of like a Q&A. We're going to ask you questions. We'll talk about it. Sometimes it's a take-home test. Sometimes it's a whiteboarding exercise.
Right.
Sometimes it's data structures and algorithms. Sometimes it's a small little project where you have to build a feature or fix a bug.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
really, the best way to prepare is to first just ask.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I did when I would come across some recruiters. I would say like, is there anything that I should know or that I should prepare for when it comes to the the test in the follow-up interview? Um Sometimes they would be like, "Oh, that's for the person next in line in the interview to tell you because they're not really
Mm-hmm.
familiar with like the technical interview." But yeah, half the time they're like, "Yeah, so it's going to be a coding algorithm where they're going to send you like a feature for a project and they'll give you a certain amount of time and you just submit it."
I think that's good feedback for recruiters too. Sometimes they'll say, hey, you'll talk
Mhm.
to the hiring manager, it'll be a technical interview, and they may not know what that technical
Yeah.
interview actually entails. But if you're a recruiter out there, you would have much more success, I think, with the candidates you're pushing through your pipeline if you gave them a heads up of what to prepare for.
Yeah. Right.
Right. Absolutely. Well, very good. Is there anything else from your job search that you want to touch on that we didn't cover today?
Yeah. I would say what worked for me is reach out to people, connect with people, network with people. I think when you, because personally for me, I was super shy. I don't like to talk to strangers. But I would just connect with people that, like, for example, for Learning Fuse, the bootcamp that I attended, I would connect with alumni, and I would be straight up about my message, about saying like what my intention was, like, hey, like I'm currently at the bootcamp, or hey, I'm currently a graduate from Learning Fuse. Um, if you have time, do you mind talking to me about like your experience during the job hunt? Exactly what we're talking about, what worked, what didn't work, type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think there was one person specifically, his name's Jason, that really helped me break down my day to day, to tell me what I should be doing, what I shouldn't be doing, and um, eventually it paid off.
I think that's great. I think a lot of people don't leverage the power of that alumni network. They just recently went through the same process you went through, from the
Right.
same or similar background from that boot camp. So if anything, their advice would be more practical and actionable than probably any generic advice you can find online.
Yeah.
It's a great
Yeah.
example.
Yep.
So now that you're employed, is there anything that you wish you had studied or practiced more of, so that you were more prepared for the day-to-day that you're in now?
Yeah. I think it's hard to prepare yourself for something that you don't know about. Like, you
Yeah.
don't know what you don't know. I think that's a big one. But I think when it comes to like the skill set of like what the job description is, or what you're going to be working on, what technology you're going to be using, um, I would say just focus on that. For example, for me, I use React, and when I first got the job, I didn't know React hooks. So for the first 2 weeks, I spent full time just learning React hooks, and then
Mm.
by the time I started like working in the application that we're doing, it helps so much, because I would see hooks everywhere, and I'd be like, I don't know what this does, what that does, but now I'm pretty familiar with it.
That's good. It's a good example.
Yeah.
I think what you mentioned earlier, just building your craft throughout the job search process,
Yep.
right? Building more projects so you get more comfortable with
Exactly.
everything related to your language, not just, one small aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great. Well, Jeff, I think this was a great conversation. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us, and thank you to all that are listening. We will catch you all next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to the Junior Jobs Podcast. We hope you found today's interview helpful as you navigate your own job search in tech. If you enjoyed the show, please remember to like and subscribe, as that helps us reach more developers in need. And don't forget to check the show notes for details on today's sponsor and other job search services that we provide. Thanks for listening, and have a great day.